Hello, bonjour. Look at that thing behind me. That's the sun and a bit of blue sky. I hope you could hear me then, because obviously it's the road. And I'm just going to go and have another look around the garden, because by all accounts all the bloom is out. By the time you see this it'll be a few weeks later, but I thought I'd show you anyway. And every year I get really pleased because my mum's rose that sits by the front door, which is where her ashes are scattered, it comes out and it's just gives you that warm feeling. And also I put freesias there. It's one of my mum's favourites. My mum had them in her wedding bouquet and so did I. Some more there. Clematis is climbing up there okay. We've just been out this morning and bought those 4 pots of lavender. They're going in the garden. I'll show you when I get down there. We've made some more changes as usual. Every time I turn that corner it's windy. You've been on this walk a few times with me. There's even changes in the next door neighbour's garden. He's now got his own polytunnel. He's already, like I said before, he's already started his planting and all the blossoms out on the cherry tree. I don't know what's happened to this year. It's usually smothered in white flower. I think we've already updated you on the new bed. I'm not going to be putting much more in there, apart from maybe one plant at the back just to give it a bit of height at the back. As Duncan bought a roll of this the other day, just to put in, I'll quickly show you, just to make that a bit tidier there, that little fence. But yeah, so lovely. It is just so lovely, isn't it, when you come out? Birds are twittering. All the fire engines are going past. No, actually it's probably an ambulance. And it's just the blossom is always so lovely. We just always then pray you're not going to get a bout of rain, because it always seems just, it comes out and then the rain knocks it all on the floor, doesn't it? Let's see what we've got here. We planted this pear tree. I think it's pear. I'm sure it's both pear. It's not really done a lot. It's quite spindly really, but yeah, it's still got that lovely flower. This is one of my favourites. I love these big leaves. All white blossom there. That one there is on the outside of our gardens. It just grows on public land, not that anybody ever goes there. And this one, the same. We didn't plant it, it's just there. All the lovely, they've never had this before, but all the lovely primroses coming up in the grass. I'm not sure what the little one is, that little flower. It's weird how that's grown up out of the grass this year. It looks so pretty. We're just cutting the grass now. The farmer did come and cut that field, but for some reason he doesn't always seem to get to the outside, so we get all the edge there just sits there. Beautiful. It's weird how we've only got white blossom in and around this garden. I've got my shadow, I'm afraid I can't do anything about that, but I quite like that as well. A lovely leaf. I'll have to look up what it is and put it on the screen. As usual, I don't remember. See, again, this is that lilac-y flower. Never seen this in the garden before. What's them lovely, beautiful red tulips. So much noise in the background today. That's just telling us it's, I think, 1:30. The honeysuckle that Duncan cut back is obviously raring to go again, and in amongst the red robin, the clematis is growing up in amongst that. That always looks beautiful every year. So I've just come down really to see what else is in bloom. We were down here yesterday. I'll show you in a minute what we were doing yesterday. The pots are still off the deck because some of those are going to go in that new rockery that we put in over there. These, you see these a lot on the roadsides we've noticed recently. It's such a strange flower really, isn't it? Again, I'll have to put the name of it, but it's just weird how it's just green. Okay, what way should we go? Let's go this way. It's our 7-year wedding anniversary today, 7th of April. We both tend to forget it, to be perfectly honest. We hold more value on the day that we met than we do the wedding, to be perfectly honest. Duncan's mum always sends us a card though. That's looking lovely. These are all going to grow up and look fantastic once they get big. I finally got around to taking all the weeds out of there yesterday and standing the fire pit back up. The grass does need a cut now. The magnolia is obviously happy, which is good. Right, let's go and see what's happening over here. Well, I know what's happening over here, but you don't. Now this always looks a bit like a wood yard. But yesterday I put my carrot seeds in, and it's been recommended that some of you gardeners probably realise, but that you keep them in the dark to start with, and I didn't know that. I didn't do it last year. We didn't really have any problems, but this year we decided to find some old wood around the garden to cover it with as best we can for now. We will get something that we can make permanent and bring out every year, but for now we've just got this, just some old bits, I say, that were laying around in the garden. And that's the last of the potatoes that we actually got dug up yesterday, which we might just replant. I've now put haricot nain, or dwarf French beans, in there, so we've got the sticks in there so I know where they are, and then we will put string around the sticks so that they've got something to grip onto. We haven't put anything in here yet, but I've still got 2 celeriac and a load of carrots to come in. I haven't got room for them inside yet, so but once they're up I may put some potatoes in there, but I've still got to buy what have I got to buy? I've got to buy celeriac and some other, I thought I might try growing aubergine this year because I've been eating aubergine. I'm not sure what conditions it likes, so I've got to read up on that first. But we've noticed the blackberry plant is coming up and started sprouting. Duncan has read recently that maybe our mesh that it's hanging onto is probably too small. We think the holes need to be bigger. But it's too late for this year. We'll have to think about it next year. But it didn't seem to cause any problems last year. I'm going to find a new spot for that. That's a plant a friend gave us. It's my raspberry that doesn't tend to do all that great actually. But this time the frame it was on was just too small. So again we're going to be putting string around that in the hope that that will help that, will give that something to climb up. As you know, Duncan's been clearing over on the wasteland. It's a shame we have to look at it really. We could do with having a big fence so we didn't have to look at it. But let's go in the polytunnel and quickly, I bet it's going to be warm in there. Because we've been out, I haven't opened it up yet. Woo! Hot. Yes, so there's not a lot happening in here. In these pots there, I've cut up, so I had some cherry tomatoes and I've cut them in half and put them in. I'm just experimenting to see if they take. In that one I've got some butternut seeds that I had out of a butternut that was in the house. So I'm going to see if they take. They didn't take last year. I apologise if you keep getting me in the shade. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, they didn't take last year, my seeds, and I ended up buying the plant. So we'll see what happens with those this year. In this pot, nothing exciting again, but Duncan has planted some tomato seeds that we bought. And he's just trying a method that we read or saw on YouTube, just by stand them in a tray of water but not too deep. So we'll see how that one goes as well. Back outside. Right, here is Duncan dug it over yesterday, and that's where he found those potatoes that are left. But it wouldn't surprise me if there were still potatoes in there. Right, this is where the strawberries used to be, if you remember, and we had a mesh, a netting over the top. We've left, you can see there, we left one in the old watering can. But in here, the lavender we just bought is going to go in this one here, because we thought get some good flowers that the bees are going to like and help pollinate with the veg. Haven't decided what we can get for that one yet. They're the primroses, primulas, whatever, I can't remember, that we found around the garden. We just put them in that pot. In here I've got rocket, ciboulette, which is chives, and I've got some lemon balm. So they just keep coming back every year. And now the strawberries are out of the pot and we've planted them there. I was going to put some straw around them, but I noticed that Duncan's put some wood chip around them, so I'm assuming he's checked up. I assume he's checked up on whether that's okay. I expect it is. We've got to get the garden set up. The little pipe that runs from the water tank down to the tap keeps getting blocked, so he's got to give that a bit of maintenance. But then, as usual, we'll have the soap stood on the shelf there, and then that's the little sink. This is another random pear tree that's grown on its own. Again, it's white blossom, but very, very pretty and quite nice to have in the potager. You can see just there along that wall, and just to say, I think I mentioned before, there's a triangular plot there that people used to grow veg in there, but they haven't been there for years now. It's a shame. I showed you before that we emptied this compost bin and we had enough out of that one bin to top up each of the raised beds and the new bed with the exotic plants, and some in this bed. It got so compressed, we was just amazed how much more we got out of it actually. And then the other two bins in front of us here, they've still got a lot in them, but we won't be getting anything out of them this year. Don't think we'll need it, but we did think about taking the tops off them just to move them into the one at the back so that they can start rotting and we can use what is ready at the bottom of these, but we'll see. So that's about it for today's catch up. Now I'm going in because I'm in the middle of sewing a backpack for my granddaughter. Nearly finished, but I want to concentrate on it because I've not made one before, but it's turning out okay. By the time this actually goes out, I might have finished, so I might or I might not put a picture of it on here. Depends when it goes out, because if it goes out, or this video is due to go out before we actually even go to the UK, I don't want her to see it if there's any chance that she does actually watch my videos. So, I will see you in the next video. Au revoir.